Hey guys, this is a crypto market update as we're seeing a pretty big market dip right now, one of the biggest sell-offs that we've seen for a good few months. So I want to go over why crypto is selling off today, why this has happened, and what we can look at to see where we go from here and some of the things that we can learn to be able to see these and take advantage of these, plus, a long-term plan to see where we can actually position ourselves. So I just want to get right into the video today. Firstly, I am still doing my giveaway. I'm giving away 1 Ethereum and 9 lifetime passes to my crypto investor course. If you want to get involved, just simply go over to Twitter. I'll leave the link in the video description on YouTube. You can enter this for free to win 1 Ethereum or 9 lifetime passes. So enter that via the video description. Going to get right onto the Bitcoin chart though. So what we can see here is that over the last few days, there's been a lot of volatility and we have come off of those highs, but you can see by this trend line right here that we were still massively in that uptrend, and actually the most recent uptrend for Bitcoin, really testing all-time highs. And you can see that very clearly here. Obviously what's happened is that we've had a big intraday sell-off and a big wick down, somewhere near about 42,000 I think the intraday bottom was. So you can see that actually Bitcoin was charting really well on these exact trend lines from kind of tops and then testing the trend line down here. So I'm just going to draw these quickly. These lines aren't perfect, but it gives you an idea. So where are we going now? Well, it really depends where the market closes today. If we close above 52.5 or 52, maybe 51, then we are actually still in a massive uptrend and we haven't broken this trend. I don't believe that's going to be the case though. I think we're going to probably finish under that. And so what that means is that this current uptrend has probably been broken and we're going to kind of search for another and a new part of this trend. So if we look at other price levels right here, you can actually see that around 39, so let's say 40,000 is a big area of price support. We actually had 2 areas of trade around it, which was here, and then this was kind of resistance that turned into support. So I would say the next level, really big level to look at is probably 40,000 to the downside. But if we move this up, you can also see there's a lot of chop around here as well. So there's different levels. 52 is the continuation of that uptrend. You also have this area of value right here around 48, 49. And then moving down, you have this area of value around 44. And then moving down, you have an area of value here around 40. Those are some levels for intraday trading. When moves like this happen, it's pretty much anyone's guess. So I wouldn't recommend that. For long-term holders, I would just consider this a completely new area of the chart that's going to actually come in. I do believe we're probably going to not continue this uptrend here and probably start a new phase. This phase though cannot be predicted now because what we're really in is a different macro story, and a lot of the stories that are going on are really the reason for this sell-off, and it's not really technical, it's more fundamental and macro. So I want to get into those reasons now. So we're going to get into leverage and why I think this recent sell-off is actually really good and healthy for the time being. A 20% sell-off in cryptocurrency is not unusual and actually quite healthy a lot of the time. Before we get into that, honestly, my crypto investor course will help you if you've got any questions. I don't want to sell it too much, but we've got on-chain analysis, do your own research, trading, and also investing over the long term. So if you have any questions, this is going to help you. I've been a broker for years. I work professionally after I've obviously gone and done my own thing. I know a lot of these techniques, and if you want to know this and also come and have chats with me in the private Discord groups, then go ahead. But I don't want to sell it too much. Let's come over to this from actually Will Clemente on Twitter. So he's been going on about futures open interest for a long time now, and we've eventually been flushed out. So what you can see here in blue is open interest and gray is the price chart of Bitcoin. What you can see is essentially as the price has been rising, open interest has been rising. The price has fallen recently, but open interest has continued to rise. And that's kind of a bad thing because essentially what that means is the price is going down and everyone's going long on futures. And when you go long on futures, you borrow money to do that. And eventually when the price comes down and down and down, you need more and more money to fund your futures. And eventually something just cracks. And that's what we got today. a big dump, getting all of this leveraged money out of the system. And this just happens time and time again with Bitcoin. If you've been in Bitcoin for more than 6 months, you would just see this time and time again. So it's not really worrying for me, certainly, especially as we're up in the 50s, now in the high 40s. So I'm not too worried about that. And he actually has another chart right here that you can see futures open interest. So again, what we can see is extremely high levels of leveraged trading and open interest whilst the price has been falling, and eventually this has to break. So what we can see here actually is that, you know, when the price moves up, you get this open interest, and then you have these big dumps out. So this is a very normal dump. Like I said, I think we're entering a new phase into the bull run. We have actually seen lots of people come out and say they've bought the dip today, which is fantastic. The bottom might not be in. I can see a lot of chop and trade happening next week as well, certainly with some macro events. El Salvador have bought the dip again, and then Justin Sun said he's going to buy the dip. He actually did. He bought 50 Bitcoin at 47,250, which is at or near the bottom of this recent sell-off. But we could have another mini sell-off tomorrow, or another move down until some more macro news actually comes out about what's happening with the possible variants. So when it comes to futures open interest, we can see again, the futures open interest on Binance was just way too high. Too many leverage traders at highs, and eventually that has come off now, which I think is actually pretty healthy overall in the big scheme of things. Lastly, I just want to come to futures interest here. If you use KuCoin, you can actually see the funding rates. So this is what people are paying to borrow dollars, and they borrow dollars to fund long positions. This has been flushed out as well. This has been consistently high, 20%, 15%, 10%, which is usually is just too high. 5% is pretty low for KuCoin. So what I'm seeing here is that a lot of the futures open interest, a lot of the leverage has been flushed out here. Usually when you get flush outs like this and all this leverage comes out of the system, if you are a long-term holder, these have historically been the best times to actually step in a big way. I've done that too, and I'll detail that towards the end of the video. I want to come on to basically why this is happening in the macro sense, and then the 3 areas of value that crypto has and specifically Bitcoin has. So yeah, I'm going to blur this out so it doesn't get banned on YouTube, but essentially we know what's happening. 38 countries may be shutting down, and so the fear of the economy just taking another bad step is here, and this is why risk assets are selling off. Nasdaq selling off yesterday. Guess what? The stock market doesn't open on a Saturday or a Sunday. 2 days a week, you can't do anything. Bitcoin 24/7, and that is taking the brunt of it now. It's a 24/7 perfect open capitalist market, and that's what we're seeing. This is why there is risk off. Bitcoin is still a risk on asset. This is risk off now because people are saying, well, if the economy falters, it's going to be terrible for stocks, and everything kind of goes off and falls off. What we saw last time is that we had shutdowns, then the Fed stepped in and said, rates are zero and we're printing trillions of dollars. They're going to do that again, of course. Rates are still zero, but they may push back any rate rises. They may push back any tapering of asset purchases. So short term, not great. Medium to long term, if this is a problem, then again, we're just going to see a repeat of what happened last time, which is more money printing, low rates, and essentially medium to long term, that means scarce assets will rise when they're valued in dollars as well. Here's the kind of 3 areas of value for a cryptocurrency. The first is store of value. So you have store of value as sum of the network. If we go back to the price of Bitcoin, how much is a store of value and how much is just the free money premium? So that's it. Store of value is one and free money premium is another. The free money premium seems to be coming to an end. So maybe this amount of the market cap was the free money premium, 20, 30% maybe. Then underneath that, you have the store of value. How much is that worth? And then you have the network value and human potential value because people are building on this thing. That's the 3 areas of value I see for Bitcoin. The free money premium has been completely wiped out since 70,000. So yeah, I just want to come on to some buys that I made today and why, and also some of the fundamental value I see when I just forget about prices and look at the fundamental value of things. So this is unique addresses. The amount of people who are using the Bitcoin network still very positive, and it's just not stopping. Same for Ethereum. We're going up. We're seeing a bit of chop around here, but in general, the trend is up. And as more people come to use the network, that's just the long-term value. So take away the free money premium, take away all of that. What is the value of these networks that are growing over time? And to quickly come on to why I did buy some cryptos in this dip, essentially Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano, Terra, and Polygon. I kind of added to these a little bit in this current dip. I don't go too crazy in dips. I'm more of a dollar cost average, just long term. Look at some, cryptos that I have conviction in. I'm not going to go crazy and buy loads of altcoins or speculative altcoins during dips like this. What I will do is essentially go further into my high conviction plays. When there is uncertainty like we have now, just going to go more into my conviction plays and less into my kind of non-conviction, more happy to have plays. I don't really want to go to those, but high conviction plays like Bitcoin and Ethereum for me personally, that's what I would add to in a dip, and not any of the other ones that are maybe, you might put some in a bull market because, prices are rising generally. So really when it comes to the price of crypto, like I said, you have the free money aspect, which has to come to an end at some point. That seems to be coming out. Then you have the network value and the human capital value. And that's why I only really invest in very solid blockchains that provably have a lot of usage. But that's just me, and that's just the way I do things. So if you do want to enter the giveaway, no purchase necessary. Just come to the link in the description. I'm giving away 1 Ethereum and 9 free passes to my crypto investor course. I genuinely believe my course will help a lot of people in this respect. If you've got questions, a lot of that will be answered in the course and private member Discord groups as well. So you can check that out, linked in the description as well. I'm James with MoneyZG. Cheers for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.